Hey dudes, in this episode we're going to do some easy peasy living greasy redstone for an auto farm, and we're going to talk about some vines, TheeRealDuke, and that's all happening right now. What is going on, dudes? How you guys doing? You guys doing good? You guys having a good week? Is your week good? Is it just starting because it's a Monday? Oh, sad Monday, sad Monday. So, what are we doing today? We're going to be doing an auto farm type thing, and we're going to be doing it right under here. So, we're not going to need this wheat thing anymore. I'm going to try and do the redstone. I'm going to try and make it as simple as I can for a couple of reasons. Number one, I think long, protracted redstone episodes and Let's Plays can be boring. They're not necessarily boring, but they can be, and I would obviously like to avoid making a boring Let's Play for you guys, unless I was 100% certain there would be some type of value to gain from it. And it's not that I doubt the value of this. I do truly believe there's some value into learning how to do this. It's just that I'm also not real great at redstone. So I think if I make a really long episode, it's going to be because I'm terrible and I keep screwing stuff up. So I want to limit how much I do that. And yeah, so what we're going to try and do is, and this is not some new rocket science type stuff that we're doing here, and I just got a little chest. So here's the stuff I think we're going to need. I'm not 100% sure because we are going to do a small amount of figuring out as we go. Okay. But basically, what we're going to be doing is, we're going to be trying to figure out basically how to do the auto farm. And there's going to be some, you know what, you'll see. We'll be working it out as we go. So what I want to do is, when I start making redstone stuff, I like to figure out first where I'm going to stand. Now, I know some of this stuff has to go underground. I think this line here is going to be a good starter point, and there's a level directly below us, so I can't go too deep, so I might have to go up a little bit. So I guess to give ourselves a little bit of padding, what I'm going to do is start lining up some of these blocks, and I don't know if I'm going to 100% finish it today, but let's see how far we can get. I hope to goodness that it doesn't take 20 minutes to do this. It shouldn't at all, but let's say this is the starting level here, okay? And I know that's not necessarily centered yet, but we are going to center it. So I'm going to want to stand right here. So the thing I'm actually going to stand on, actually, can I go one up, or is that going to be too smashed in? I'm going to go one up from here. Just give maximum space for the mechanism underneath. Okay, so what I will actually be standing on here is a piece of jungle wood. So lots of people have done auto farms over the the past time that it occurred to someone to make them. So I'm not revolutionizing anything, and I'm not claiming to have done so. I'm using a mix of a couple of things I've seen from different ones, and credit where credit is due, which is not to me. What I am going to try and do is basically a version of the one that Etho made, and I think it's simple, and I like how it works. So the other thing is the clock doesn't run unless we're here harvesting, and that's really important for a multiplayer server. We don't want to be hogging system resources if we're not even here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So we have the basic footprint laid out, and if you haven't seen Etho's version, I recommend you look it up. It's really awesome. We'll put the link in the description if I can remember. I hope so. But basically, the simple thing that he figured out was, well, he figured out a couple simple things, but one of them is that if you have it activated with this pressure plate, right, you can use this torch to stop the clock. And we're just going to make a little simple clock real quick right here. And I'm actually going to dig one down. I want it to be able to be hidden. So basically, for the clock set up, and we can see, again, I told you guys we're gonna have to jam this in. So where is my wool? Let's run up here real quick and grab some wool. Good thing we're not building this too far away. Here is the cyan wool. So base, and I like to use the wool so that I know it's circuits, so I don't break them when I'm digging around, you know? Okay, so we're gonna have this go like this, and I'll explain how this clock works in just a second. It's very simple. It's very clever. Don't need that or that. And we're going to keep that like that. So, here's how the clock works. And this is my little vertical clock that I like making, okay? So basically, right here, and that's, see how this is activated? Okay, so we have this, like this. Okay, so this redstone torch, when you apply power to the block the redstone torch is placed on, by, for example, stepping on this, okay, it shuts off the redstone torch. And that's what we want to use. So a redstone torch on, we're going to use to stop our little clock from working here. And I'm going to remove this for just a second so I can explain the clock to you if you don't understand. If you understand how this works, awesome. If not, I will teach you very quickly. So, now we have the redstone torch here, and it is putting out redstone signal in this direction, including the block directly underneath it. So, if I put a redstone... I don't know if you can hear my dog growling, but he's sleeping and he's getting them in his sleep. Anyway, we have power coming down here into this piece of redstone, and that sends redstone to this repeater. Now this repeater pushes redstone signal, pushes the current into the block that I am standing on right now. And then when I put a piece of redstone here, it is going to connect to this one, and it is going to power the block that the redstone torch is on. And again, we just said it will shut off current going to the block that the redstone torch is placed on, will shut off the redstone torch. And so then it will discontinue the current to here and the current to here. So this will be unpowered, this will be unpowered, and this will power again. And so then it'll shut itself off, and it'll keep going around and around in a circle. You'll see. Check it out. See how that's working? Does that make sense? So if you have it flashing too quickly, what will happen is the redstone torch will burn out. And for me on this server, this is as fast as I can get it to tick. Okay, so this is a delay of 2. So this is delay of 3, delay of 4, delay of 1, delay of 2. Okay, and this is how fast our whole thing is going to go. Now, if I put a redstone torch here, it keeps this torch powered off permanently until I release it by unpowering this one. Does this make sense? So you can see as I'm on it, now it's flashing again. Pretty sweet, right? Not too hard, not rocket surgery. As Slicks would say, it's not brain science, okay? So then, the next thing we need to do is figure out where the piston's going to go. And how this is going to work is, if you're not familiar with this at all, it's all good because we will explain it. We're going to need this here. I'm going to creep. Is that right? Or am I one low here? I'm one low. Come on, give me back, give me back. Just gonna replace that nearby. I'm gonna tower up. Okay. Am I one low? No, I don't think I was. I don't think I was. We might have to do some fiddling here for just a second, but that's alright. So, check it out. Awesome. So what we're doing here is we're going to put this here. Oh, made a bud switch by accident. Bud switch, I'll explain in a minute. But basically, what we're going to be trying to do here is, and this is actually going to be a little bit of an issue. I don't need that there, so we'll remove it, so now this will work. Yep, okay. So, now we need to get the current from the clock over here so that this thing can switch back, so it can kind of, you know, click up and down, because that's what we want it to do. Beep, beep, beep. Okay, so this should work, right? it's not because we don't have the current going back up. Let's see here. And this just completes the circuit. So we're going to have to switch this one to a repeater. I said there'd have to be some figuring out. So we're doing it. Let's see if this works. How's this? Oh, still need to complete this. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. So this is going to be the thing that our crops actually grow on, right? So it's going to need to be hoed. So we have the hoe. There we go. Now, if there's not water nearby, this is going to dry up. Probably. So we're going to have to figure out where water is going to go. But what we want to happen is, when this starts, right, when this gets to the up position, we want there to be dispensers that hit it with some bone meal. So we're going to get 3 of them. Okay. No idea what that was about. Oh, I guess I touched it by accident. You know what? Let's actually remove the pressure plate here so we don't keep, so we can just keep it permanently off just for right now. That's not what we want. There we go. Okay, so then we're going to have to hook up just a little bit of a delay to these because we want to wait till only when the piston is extended. For that little second that the piston's extended, we want it to, boom, hit it with some bone meal. So shouldn't be too hard, right? We're just gonna kind of wrap this up and bring it back around here. And I'm just gonna use, well, actually, let's use this so we don't screw it up, just so we keep it straight. Okay, just like this. And a little bit of dirt, a little bit of redstone rather. Here we go. Boom, 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 boom. I think that'll work. Let's see what happens. If I break this, can you hear them? They are ticking away. Sweet. But, unfortunately, we would have to then just manually fill all of those slots, and that's less fun. Slightly less fun. So let me put this back and quiet that noise. So let's try and figure out if maybe we can do it a little bit better way. And the reason we don't want the tops blocked is because if we're slick enough when we do this, when we're figuring this out, if we're slick enough, we can do this. But not this one in the middle here. So now we have a reservoir. Okay, we could throw some chests on top, and this is pretty much exactly what Etho did up until this point. He added a little bit of extra stuff to his to kind of make it, I guess it's somewhat more complicated, but there are a couple added benefits to his that mine doesn't have. But, you know, this doesn't have to be some big thing. It just needs to work, man. It just needs to work. So and I think he probably used way more elegant redstone than I did. I'm just not, he's obviously way better than I am at redstone, and that's totally awesome. So here's where we're at right now. So I can just fill these chests at will with bone meal. They'll funnel in and fill all this up, right? That is a sweet plan. And then all we need is some light in there. We need some water nearby. But now we need to power these from behind, and watch this. So let me just break this one real quick, and this one. So if I do this, then this one in the middle here isn't powered, and then that's not going to work, right? So for this one, I'm going to need to use a repeater. And where is my repeater? Here we go. So I'm going to need to use a repeater there, but then the timing is going to be off because every repeater you use or every redstone torch you use introduces a 1-tick delay. So then these will all be firing at different times. So now these all need These all need one just to keep on the same timing, right? And I could use redstone torches underneath. That would also work. In case you're wondering, in case you actually know what you're doing with redstone and are way better at redstone than I am, you might be asking that question. That is a valid question. I could be using them. That is a similar technique to what Etho used for his. I just, I think this is a little bit simpler. All we have, okay, so that we're not intimidated if you're not good with redstone. All we have a simple clock. We have a way to turn it on and off, which is what is right here. And then we connect that clock to a piston, and we connect the other part. We just run another wire to connect these dudes up here, our dispensers. And then all we're going to do is just kind of sit here and screw with the timing to make sure that the timing works. That's it. The hard part's already done, okay? That's it. That is really it. So, we need to figure out within 5 blocks of here where we want to store some water. Will water work if it's down here? Let's find out. Let's break this. Break these. Here we go. You know what? We can stay. We have a lot of space over here, so that's not going to be an issue. So what else do we need? Well, we're going to need some bone meal, so let's run up real quick and grab some bone meal. Where's all my bone meal from, you might ask? Well, if you get a spawner, that will pretty much solve all your bone mealing problems. If you can see, I have a dark room spawner. You remember the one I made? It's floating up above the ocean, about, I don't know, 500 blocks that way. So that's where I got all this sweet loot from. Let's dump some of this stuff. I don't think we need any cyan wool anymore, so we can get rid of that. We'll save just a little bit. We definitely don't need shears. Actually, we'll keep the shears because there is something else I want to show you guys. And it's going to be about vines. And then we're done with the redstone, so I can put that back. Easy enough. Easy peasy. So let's just, I'm going to fill this like that. And then we'll have plenty to go around. We're going to need a water bucket. Bucket. There we go. Put these chests back because we don't need chests anymore. Nom steak. And then again, now we're just going to fiddle with the timings. And remember, you can just adjust the timings however you like. We're going to need some light in her. There's going to need to be a light source around. So let's take care of this for right now. I'm going to dig some of this. There we go. Should be good enough. And let's just add some water. Bloop. Let's come up here, grab our hoe, till this action. Boom. And it is hydrated. Perfect. Perfectamundo. I'm actually going to make this look a little bit weird here for just 1 second so that I can make sure I don't break it and destroy all my redstone. For example, exactly what I just did. That's alright, that's not going to be a problem to fix. So now I will know that if I get near any of these things, like, dude, watch out, there's water here, and it is very visible. You can see that that is where the water is. So let's throw all this back together, which happens, 5 times a day. So all we had was this set to 2 ticks, that set normally. And here's all my redstone on the ground, but my inventory is full because I'm a pack rat. Done. Okay. So that is all back together. And we just need to put this up here. But first let's fill these. So Stacked in there. Stack in there. So these should be filling up, and they are. So if you haven't seen this work before, this might appear to be some type of wizardry or magic, and I assure you that it is not either of those things. But it is pretty sweet. So the way it works is all you do is sit here with seeds, which I do not have now. This is the wrong way to go. Also, so for the seeds, all you need are just some wheat seeds. But the cool thing is you can use wheat seeds. You can use apples. I'm just going to use some wheat seeds here. Apples. Not apples. You can't use apples. You can use wheat seeds. You could use potatoes. Or carrots. Or, because we have jungle log here. Okay. You can come in this way, you can face the jungle log, and you can use cocoa beans too, which is something that Etho showed me, which is, was the first time I saw it. I don't know if that's exactly the first time it was ever done, but basically you just sit here and hold the right click with seeds and or carrots or potatoes or whatever, and it just goes chunk, 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 just like that, piece of cake. So now we don't need a huge field to get this to happen. Throw that there. Re-equip this. Let me dump a couple things out here so we have some space. Don't need these or these or these, because we're gonna get some mad items. So okay, so timing is not working. I'm gonna increase that, slow that down just a little bit, see what happens. Not a problem. So it's cool because it won't use bone meal. There we go. Won't use bone meal unless there's something in front of it that it can actually bone meal. There it is. 10 wheat, 11 wheat, 14 wheat, 15 wheat. That's it, man. That is it. You are just, I have almost 30 wheat now. Check it out. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. 29, 30. How easy was that? I got 54 here, 34 there, 34 there. So they do work differently or at different rates, and that's just how it is. That's something to do with what direction they're facing, north, south, east, or west. Just keep those chests full of bone meal, and you will be good to go. But how easy was that, dude? Seriously, like, that was such a piece of cake. It's ridiculous. So up in here, I might throw a piece of glowstone. Actually, I think I'm going to throw one of these so I don't fall in. Just like that. And that won't work. We'll figure something out. But, and again, these aren't dispensing. It's still at 54. So the bone meal does not get wasted. It's like complete efficiency. It's awesome. You get a huge amount of seeds this way, but, you know, whatever. Hey, hopefully someday soon we'll be able to burn those seeds, or you can use them to make chickens. But this is the basic design, and we just tucked it in here with just enough space. So maybe between now and next episode, I will pretty that up. But the other thing I wanted to show you, and I don't know exactly where we're going to build it this episode, and we're going to wrap it up because I don't want to make a hugely long episode. We don't really need to. Just harvest some of these pumpkins. We're going to need these pumpkins when we go into the end. Yes. So it is hard to see with this thing on, but that's all good. At least Enderman won't get us. But we need some vines. Why do we need vines? Well, with 1.8, we are going to be able to make mossy stone brick, and that is going to be incredible. I'm so psyched for that. Are you serious? It's going to be awesome. So I'm really excited for that. So we need to We need to grow and harvest some vines. And what I'm going to do, very simply, I'm not sure if this is where I'm going to harvest them, but I will set it up for you just so we can get it spoken about this time. And this is not going to be the final setup for it here. And I'm just using jungle logs because I don't know if I would feel good using them for any other thing, really, because I don't really care particularly for how they look in this build that we're doing right here. But basically, and I really wish I had some ender pearls. Basically, what we're going to do is, it's going to be really easy. We are going to set up a couple trellises, and if you don't know what a trellis is, it is kind of a framework that you use to build, not build, but grow, so vines on, basically. And it's all types of vines, and it's real, it's not just in here. Trellises are used to grow things like, I don't know, grapes for winemaking and things like that. So basically, we're just going to have this here. These are going to grow across. They're going to grow down. We don't need these here. And they're going to grow down, and then when they are ready to harvest, we're going to harvest from the bottom up. Oop. Just like that. So we're going to get some vines. Now, what else are we going to use the vines for? Well, the vines are going to be integral in our Enderman Ender, which is what Etho calls it. So I don't want to call it that. Let's call it the Enderizer. Done. The Enderizer. So we're going to use them in the Enderizer. They're going to be a critical part of the Enderizer. And what their function is going to be is to control the falling speed of the Enderman. And that's going to be important because we'll be able to get them to one hit shot or one potion shot for XP purposes. And maybe we'll also make it toggleable such that we can just keep it in harvest mode as Doc M's design allows for, or maybe not. Maybe we'll just get, because we'll be using a fortune. Well, that'll be something we'll have to cross. Bridge we'll have to cross when we get to it. For right now, we're just going to let this grow so we can get it going. But again, dudes, redstone is not something to fear whatsoever. Very simple. Again, let me just go over this real quickly for you guys. We have an auto farm here, which is, as far as I can tell, 100% efficiency. So that's sweet. It takes up way less space than the farm that was there, If you have an unlimited supply of bone meal, this is the thing for you to use. It works not only for wheat, but for carrots, for apples. I keep wanting to say apples. For carrots, for potatoes, for wheat, and we can also use this for cocoa beans, which is awesome. And I'm just, give me that wheat. And obviously, I'm not using this for wheat to turn into bread. I'm using this to sell to my farmer guy over here so I can get some free emeralds. You know what I'm saying? But you could use it for bread if you want, or for carrots. Maybe you want to live off the carrots. That's cool. Maybe you're playing on a multiplayer server like Infinite Heights, where you want huge amounts of potatoes, and you can use the farmer's diet because we have MCMMO over there. Who knows? Potatoes, carrots, you know. Man, the potential for this is awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed learning how to do that. Just a simple, this is actually an inverter is what we set up here. A simple inverter into a simple 2-tick delay clock. We just used a repeater to fire directly into a piston. No magic there. And then we connect it, which we could even probably connect. We don't even need this back here if you want to simplify it even more. Make it take up even less redstone. We could throw a piece of redstone there, and I just eliminated 3 redstone. And then we can get rid of these pieces here. Dude, this is so easy. This should be unintimidating, because there's really nothing to this. It is easy peasy, living greasy, to be sure. And the footprint's small for it too, so you don't need a lot of space. In fact, we crammed it underneath some stairs. There's just some simple hopper action happening up here, dudes. You could even make this more complex by connecting the hoppers together, so you just have one bin to dump them in if you have more space, if you feel like it. You know, there's a lot of places you could take this, but basically that is it for this episode. I hope you guys found it useful. I hope you guys found it truly useful and fun and easy to do. Because you know this is simple. Obviously, that's simple. Check out my YouTube channel for other Let's Builds and Infinite Heights server contest videos. Head over to the Infinite Heights forums at InfiniteHeightsMC.com where you can join us. I'll be there, man. We'll be having some fun. Join me, my builds, and a great community of Infinite Heights at play.infiniteheightsmc.com. As always, like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to make me some wheat. Some easy peasy wheat. Thank you so much for watching, dudes. Again, I do truly appreciate every single view, every single like, comment, and sub. Thank you so much, dudes. It is TheeRealDuke, and I'm out.